Hello, everyone. Today is April 18th, 2024. This is the Kubernetes storage SIG meeting. So Kubernetes 1.30 just got released. So we will just go over the spreadsheet one more time. And then in the next meeting, we'll start 1.31 planning. Okay, so the first one, recover from resize failure. Jan, do we have any update?
No, I don't think there was anything done in this release.
Okay. An update. And so the next one is, okay, volume group APIs. So yeah, this one we basically started to fix some bugs. Still ongoing bug fixing. And the next one, provision volume from cross namespace snapshot PVC. And I believe this one we're waiting for the reference grant work. Yeah. Yang, do you know, is there anything more going on for this?
They are figuring out the API, how to grant access to different namespace and how to do it safely. So we are basically waiting for that to materialize.
No, they don't have anything in 1.30, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, they are still on KubeCon. They were saying they are still fixing the API, like
right.
problems even with the names of the objects.
Okay. Well, I guess this is still okay. Well, probably will be continuing in 1.31 then. All right. And next one is volume health at E2 test. So this one, unfortunately, there is still no update. And the next one is change block tracking. Ben, you want to give an update on this one?
An update on change block tracking. I don't believe there are any updates unless there's progress in the CAP that I don't know about.
Okay, basically just waiting for that to be reviewed.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. So we already, yeah, okay, CSI change, yeah, that one is there, waiting for CAP review. Okay. And that, the other thing is I also submit a request to create a new repo.
Oh, okay.
So it's called external snapshot metadata. And next one is enable privileged containers for Windows to replace CSI proxy for Windows. Okay, so do we have any update from Manu, Eddie, on this?
Yeah, hey, we have a PR in the EBS CSI driver to enable this feature. It's currently being reviewed. Yeah.
Oh, so I thought there will be some common changes, right? Was it just in the driver itself? You can get this one working?
Yeah, so we spoke with Mauricio, and basically they released CSI Proxy v2, and we basically just imported that over in the driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so do you think there's no additional common changes needed now? Everything's there? just need driver implementation, that's it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay, that's good. Okay, I thought there was still a lot of more common work. Okay, that's good. Thank you for that update.
Mhm.
So this one, okay, the SIG Linux relabeling using mount options. Okay, so this one is done, right? Yeah, there's
Yep.
no more.
Done.
Okay,
Released.
done. And always owner reclaim policy. So there is a E2E test PR out. I think it's in good shape, but I just see some comment from Patrick. Looks like he has a PR that makes it even easier to test those alpha features. So we'll probably just wait for his PR to get merged first. So it feels like you don't even need to have this, because we do have this flag in that E2E test, kind of saying this is for this feature. You're saying that's not even needed anymore.
Mhm. Okay, sounds interesting.
Is good. And the next one is voting attributes class. Let me know if Sunny does not look like Sunny is here today. Okay. I remember the last thing she said is still this quota change is waiting for a meeting with the API machinery. So I don't know if Connor, you have any update on this? You are also working on this feature, right?
Yeah, I wasn't involved with the quota stuff, so I don't know what's going on there. I can say there is an outstanding PR for EDE tests that needs to be reviewed. Other than that, no other updates I'm aware of.
Okay. All right, thank you. And robust voting manager reconstruction. Yeah, this one is done, right?
Mm-hmm. Done.
Right. Storage capacity scoring. So I don't think there's any update on this one. Yeah, non-graceful no shutdown. So there's this integration test. Ashutosh is taking a look. There's a pretty weird failure after his last update to address the comments. So he said he's looking at it. And next one is add an option to disable 6-minute force detach timer. So Ben, this one is done, isn't it? Do we have more?
Yeah, as far as I know, the code change went in and the doc change went in. And now what we need to do is figure out a path to make the default to turn this on, right? Because right now the default is it's legacy behavior. So it's available for people to use, for people that are being affected, but I think we want to gradually move everyone to have this new behavior.
Okay, yeah, well, so we probably should just keep this one here and track the progress on that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what the process is to change something from default off to default on, and then to deprecate the off behavior. That's what we want to do.
Right. Yeah, I also need to check. Maybe we need to wait one or two release. I don't know how long we need.
Yeah. But we want to start the clock on that immediately so that we
Mhm.
eventually get to the good place.
Right. Okay. Thanks. And next one, Cozy moving to beta. So this is still ongoing. So Blaine is still working on updating the cap. Blaine updating the cap. And Matthews is working on E2 test. And the other thing that's going on is Blaine is going to start to consolidate the repos. It's that one. Next one is CSS sidecars all in one. Do we have any update on this?
Yes. So Jay and Connor and I met, and Jay from Alibaba shared a doc about the migration process. In the migration process, after setting up the monorepo, we run some scripts to sync commits from the individual repos to the monorepo.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would put the individual repos on a freeze for feature development and move main development to the monorepo. Then we talked about some strategies to keep the individual repos on sync with respect to security fixes while we're still in the 1-year maintenance period. And finally, some talks about how we would, or when we would stop maintaining the individual repos. Also, Connor had some updates about progress in the POC, but we will discuss about this in our next meeting.
Okay, great. Sounds like a lot has been happening there. Thank you for that update.
Sure.
And the next one is the control volume mode conversion between source and target. Yeah, so this one is also done. The blog is ready. I think just waiting for the publishing date. And okay, those here are for tracking. That's not for this release. All right, so those are everything. And I will be adding one more page for 1.31, and then in next meeting we can start 1.31 planning. Okay, so we have an item here added by Yang. Yang, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, we have an outstanding issue in Kubernetes. I sort of hope that Xing and Michelle will be here. So when kubelet starts, it keeps two states of the world. It keeps desired state of the world to know what volumes should be mounted, and it keeps the actual state of the world where the volumes are actually mounted, and it periodically reconciles these two states to make sure that things that should be mounted are mounted and things that should not be mounted are unmounted. And we have a bug in when we are populating the desired state of the world for the first time. I added some comments there. In the worst case, we can unmount volumes that are needed, and pods can start with empty volumes instead of seeing content of the volumes. And I wanted to discuss how to fix it. I have some ideas, but I don't see anybody who knows anything about these populators here. And this could be complicated to fix.
Right. Okay. So you may want to, you can maybe talk briefly. Maybe I still need to talk about this next time when more people are here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you elaborate on how, like, first of all, what kind of volume is affected by this? Is it all types of volumes or a specific type of volume? And can you give us a flavor for what the preconditions for reproducing it are?
So when we populate the desired state of the world, we go through all pods from the API server, see what PVCs they are using, and we get the PVC and we get the PV from the API server.
So we're just talking about PVCs, not ephemeral volumes and other types of special volumes, just PVC.
Yeah, this will affect only PVCs.
Okay.
So when there is some hiccup on the API server and this get PV or get PVC fails, we will not add that volume to the desired state of the world because we don't have the volume. We have just the PVC. And therefore, the volume is missing in the desired state of the world. And after this initial population of the desired state of the world, we start reconciling. So we can see the volume is mounted in the actual state of the world. It is missing in the desired state of the world because of the error. And kubelet will unmounted.
Do you have a sense of what kind of hiccup could cause that? Because I would assume if the API server gave us an invalid response, we would give up and retry rather than proceeding as if it's fine.
Well, that's the bug. The reporter.
Oh, then the fix is easy, right? We just say, don't return the desired state of the world until the API server gives us a authoritative desired state of the world.
Yeah, but it's not that easy. So in this particular case, the reporter says it was during cluster upgrade. So there was really some hiccup on either on the networking or the API server was being upgraded, and it returned some error. So why we cannot retry? Because how long do you want to retry? That could be a permanent issue with the API server, and you don't want to stop forever. That's the first thing. And second thing, some API servers, they start as static pods. That means kubelet is running before the API server, and kubelet is supposed to start the API server. That means it needs to start mounting stuff. And yeah.
How is it going to get a non-empty desired state of the world if kubelet is responsible for bootstrapping API server? Like, it's got nothing to talk to. Desired state of the world will be empty, right?
It has static pods. You can put a YAML file into etc Kubernetes.
Okay, so the desired state of the world has responses from the API server plus other stuff.
Yep, local files.
So
it's not that easy.
Can we have indeterminate information in the desired state of the world? Like, okay, we know this part of the world is desirable. This other part of the world, we don't know. But let's go with what we know.
I think that's what we do.
But for that missing volume, instead of saying it shouldn't be there, we should say we don't know if it should be there, and so do no harm, right? If it's not there, leave it not there. If it is there, leave it there.
That's one way how to fix it. We would need to mark this desired state of the world as incomplete or something, and to plumb it through all the layers. I can imagine it could work.
Do we know what part? Do we know, like, this pod we have an accurate view from, but this pod we don't have a view from?
Yes. That's exactly my second solution. Like, we know what pods are fine. So we should not unmount volumes from pods that exist. And kubelet knows what pods exist. So, and that's a relatively easy check and cheap, and we have all the facility in the right places. However, I'm not sure if it can break anything. So we can see the volume is in the actual state of the world, it's mounted. We don't see it in the desired state of the world, but we see that the pod exists. We have all these free informations. So if the pod exists, we can block and mount relatively easily. This would be easy and cheap, but I'm not sure. Like maybe in this part, it's hard to judge because there are corner cases like API server being started by kubelet. It has some consequences later and you don't know about them. So question is what I forgot.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, Xing, if you scroll to the last comment from me, at the very bottom, I summarized what we discussed here. We can fix either the populator to mark itself as populated only when it has all the data, or we could unmount things only when they don't have pods.
And when you say don't have pods, you mean we would account for like pods that are in the process of being deleted, right?
Yeah, we know that. Well, that's a good point.
Because pods will be in a deleting state for some time while
Yeah.
you're doing their unstage unmount stuff.
Yeah.
I know this issue is about volumes, but is there ever, like, could this be a bigger issue? Like, if it's possible for the desired state of the world to be broken, like, could this also happen with, like, pod objects or something?
We are constantly fixing issues with the actual and the desired state of the worlds. It usually gets broken at kubelet start when kubelet reads the initial desired state of the world and the initial actual state of the world because it's hard to read it correctly, as we see in this bug. But after they are populated, then they are fine. I don't remember any bug or any issues with them.
Okay, got it. So we like go back and fix this later, essentially. Already.
Yeah, like for example, the desired state of the world is populated periodically. So if a new pod appears and it needs its volumes mounted, but we fail to read the PV and PVC, then the desired state of the world will be populated in the next try in few milliseconds. So it doesn't really matter. The pod will start a few milliseconds later if there is a hiccup on the API server. That's fine. Nobody cares about that. But when the volume is missing in the desired state at the beginning, in the first sync, then we will unmount, unfortunately. Anyway, I will poke Xing and Michelle again because they could remember some corner cases that I don't remember.
Yeah, looking at these workarounds, they seem safe, but I have the same concern. It's what are you forgetting?
Exactly.
Yeah.
These parts are old. Okay, thanks a lot for the discussion.
Can you trigger, like, once you have a fix, can you trigger the condition where this happens to verify the fix fairly easily?
Yeah, the reporter has some proxy that you can turn on and off the API server easily. However, I cannot do it easily in CI. Like, I don't know how to stop the API server in CI. Well, I do. I may try some crazy tricks with kind clusters.
Yeah, he was saying this is not that easy to reproduce. He was saying he has to do really
but
special.
then he added this proxy thing that you can turn API server off easily for a while. Yeah, it's
It should be
interesting.
reproducible in unit tests, right? You can just inject the failure.
Sure, unit test is possible, but then you are missing the part where you are not testing the things that you don't know about.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can test all the things that I know I need to test, but I don't know if I'm forgetting anything.
Yeah, definitely tricky. It's, okay. All right, thanks. I'll just say to Xing. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is now we have the 6/30 2023 annual report. So this is out. So please help review it and see if we missed anything. Basically, we are just asked to mainly populate the first two sections, but to answer the first two questions. The milestones, what things you want to highlight, and the what do you think you need help with? Yeah. Okay. That's this one.
Thanks for the report, by the way.
You're welcome. Yeah, so what I found out is what they did this time is they actually populated this. They basically just look at the existing caps and then they populate them. But I found, when we write caps, right, we have some milestones. We put some milestones ahead of time, right? We have alpha and then beta, but then those get outdated soon. So I found quite a few entries are not accurate because they just look at whatever is in the cap. Yeah. So maybe we should, let's say if we just introduce a new feature, maybe we should only populate the release where we are adding this as an alpha feature, but not add anything for the future. Because we don't know when
Can we have a separate field for like expected beta versus like actual beta?
We just,
or
well,
something?
that's the thing. Initially I thought that's kind of required. But maybe those actually can be just left. Not, you don't have to fill them. I don't know if they have a like test to make sure you fill everything, then that will be a problem. Because that was my impression, because I always just fill all the fields. But probably we should just try to leave them empty. Otherwise, those are never accurate, right? Yeah, that's why, I made changes here just because those are not accurate anymore. Like they moved this to, they say this is stable, but this is actually not even beta. Yeah. So just like for future cap reviews, we also maybe just try to keep an eye on those.
Yeah, I agree. We shouldn't have incorrect information in there.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any value at all to having like, an aspirational future release for certain milestones, or whether it's best to just leave it blank.
Those fields are, they're always there. So as long as those are not required by their CI, then we just leave them blank. If they are required, then we probably should just bring it up. This is not, you can't require those fields to be filled out so early. So just maybe I'll add a note here for app release. Future milestones, basically. Okay. All right, so that's that. And then in the next meeting, we'll start 1.31 planning. Are there anything else we want to discuss today? If not, then that's it for today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.